both number one options. Can you build an offense around two number ones?
I think you can build an offense around two number ones. There's no question about it. But I don't know that both of those guys are number one. Statistically, it certainly says that. But you look at Tyler Lockett prior to DK Metcalf joining them. Tyler Lockett didn't have a 1,000-yard season. He was just a guy, a complimentary piece to what Seattle did. DK comes in, he's young, and he's certainly on his way to becoming a major elite piece for Seattle in the National Football League, being one of those top-tier wide receivers. I know we get all enamored with big catches and a guy chasing people down and things like that, and we just automatically say, he's a number one, he's a number one. Maybe I don't know what a definition of a number one is then.
Well, what do you think it is?
I think a definition of a number one is DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, guys that are by themselves as long rangers in getting it done despite having complementary pieces around them.
Oh, listen, Keyshawn Johnson was a one as well. Let's make that clear. That Keyshawn was DK Metcalf is a one. And so
he's on his way to becoming a one. They're complementary pieces. They complement each other. They complement each other well.
Tyler Lockett had literally a perfect QBR when Russell Wilson threw to him last year. You don't do that unless you're a run.
And DK was there last year.
DK Metcalf.
Prior to that, he didn't have a 1,000-yard season.
Because last year was his first year playing a full season.
Prior to that, he did not have a 1,000-yard season.
Because he didn't play a full season.
If Tyler Lockett was by himself on that football team, you mean to tell me he can carry the passing game by himself?
Yes.
Okay.
He would be top 10. He would be top 10 in catches. He'd be top 10 in yards. He'd be top 10 in touchdowns.
Let me ask you this. You played with one of the greatest receivers ever played that was a one in Kelvin Johnson.
I played.
So are you going to tell me and DeAndre Johnson, that's it, right?
Andre Johnson. I played with Calvin, Reggie, and Andre.
So you're going to tell me Tyler Lockett is in that mold?
No, because those guys are Hall of Famers. Calvin's
so maybe I don't know what a definition of one is.
I look at a number one as, can I build a game plan around you? Can I build my passing game around you? You may not be elite. You may not be the top three receiver in our league, but you are a bona fide number one. And DK Metcalf is a one. Tyler Lockett is a one in the NFL.
Let's get Marcus Spears in here. Marcus, you want to comment on this?
Come on, make the right choice.
She's so mad.
So stupid.
I'm not focused on Tyler Lockett. Is DK Metcalf a one?
I think he's headed in that direction. I'm not quick to just because a dude has great numbers and statistics over a couple games, all of a sudden say a guy is a one. I need to see more body of work. That's just me.
Sir.
That's just me.
No, sir. I saw you play.
Just me.
I saw you play. I saw you play. I saw T.O. play. DK Metcalf is a number one, bro.
I'm not saying he's not going to wind up that way, but the way y'all talking about this dude, the way y'all talking about it is as if it's just ridiculous. It's going to keep going. I'm not one like that. I need to see it continue. That's all I'm saying.
Key, this man got 30. This man got 36 catches for 680, and he's averaging 18 yards a catch, bro.
Get him.
He just went over double-digit catches last week.
Yes.
And he got 680.
Yes, that is correct.
Come on, Key. You know what a one look like. You know damn well DK Metcalf for number one.
No, I do think he's going to be a one. Prior to last week against San Francisco, he was averaging 4 catches a game, man.
But he's averaging 20 yards a catch.
He leads the NFL in touchdowns. He's getting there, man. It's okay. He's getting there.
He just wants you guys to.
He there.
Y'all need to stop playing all the time.
That man is a one, man.
Especially Dan. You put people up so fast, so quick, man. It's crazy.
I'm a one.
How quick is DK Metcalf going to end up on the Dan wagon? Why hadn't he been there yet?
After this game.
All right, after this
next game, he's up there.
He gets first class.
We're calling the Dan wagon.
He's first class.
Yeah, he's definitely on a plane. All right, anyway, new on NFL Live right now. Speaking of the Seahawks, Pete Carroll, according to Brady Henderson, our Seahawks reporter, saying that defensive end Carlos Dunlap practicing with the Seahawks today doesn't see any restrictions with Dunlap playing Sunday at Buffalo. Of course, they added him from the Bengals, and Carlos Dunlap added to a Seahawks defense that honestly could use some help. So that's big for them. All right, we got so much more coming your way on NFL Live. Week 9 is I, for one, cannot wait for this game. All eyes on those two young quarterbacks Sunday. Dan, let's focus to start on Kyler Murray going up against the Dolphins defense that won the game for him last week. How big of a challenge is that for him?
Well, when we talked about the Dolphins defense this week, it was about that zero blitz package. So Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury better have a plan to defend against it because it's so diverse. It looks the same. You have absolutely no idea who's the one blitzing, who's dropping. Everybody knows the ball's got to come out. So Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, you better have a really good plan, and you better execute it perfectly.
As they continue to execute that blitz and that plan and all the different things that the Dolphins do from a defensive standpoint, the number one thing that the Dolphins should do and will do is take away the number one target in DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
If you take that away from Kyler Murray and you force Kyler Murray to go to some second and third dairy options, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, and running back Edmonds, now you got a guy who you look at and you can neutralize those sort of things. But you got to be very careful because if he pulls the ball down, he's averaging 6.7 yards, 7 touchdowns per attempt. That's something that you don't want to do. 66% completion percentage for him, pretty good. I've come a long way on Kyler Murray in this system.
Okay.
There's no question about it. But Miami has their hands full.
Yeah, you know, Marcus, when you think about Tua, and he didn't have to do much in his first career start. He's going to make his second career start on Sunday. How difficult a task do you think it's going to be for the Cardinals defense against Tua?
First of all, I'm glad Keaton came around to the AZ offense
Let's
and
go.
Kyler Murray. That's number one.
Hey, if I see it, Marcus, if I see it and it's real, I'm going to give it to you. I ain't going to just manufacture something
My
up
man,
now.
that's respect. That's respect. See something, say something. I'm going to go to the other side, fellas. Listen, Tua, obviously, we talked about him lining up against the Rams and that defensive line, and we saw at moments Aaron Donald doing what Aaron Donald does and the pressure getting to him. But we also got to remember what we saw the last time we saw this Arizona Cardinals defense on the field. They turned over the best quarterback in football 3 times. And this is Tua's second start of his career. So it's not lightening up for him. They're using Budda Baker in a lot of ways, creating pressure with him. But also you see quarterbacks under duress. And that is the answer that we're still waiting on. Will Miami, will Flores, will Tua be prepared for the looks that Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, is going to get him? He fooled the best quarterback in the league this year already. Now Tua gets him the second game of Tua's career. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to this, especially Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, Kyler and Tua always linked. Remember, they finished first and second in 2018 Heisman Trophy voting. We've got a developing story here on NFL Live. We've been talking about Matthew Stafford being placed in the COVID-19 reserve list. Adam Schefter has an update on that.
Well, Laura, here's the distinction. Matthew Stafford is considered high-risk, close contact. He had contact with somebody with COVID on Monday, which means he has to stay on that list for 5 days. And pending further testing, negative testing, he would be eligible to come off the reserve COVID-19 list on Sunday and play against the Vikings. Now, he will not practice this week, but if there are no negative tests, Matthew Stafford will, in fact, start on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. If there's a negative test or he has to stay on the reserve COVID-19 list for any reason, Chase Daniel would be the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions. But as it is right now, Stafford is considered high-risk, close contact. He did not test positive for the virus.
All right, thanks for that clarification, Adam Schefter. And we got more coming your